Hey there, we're back again with another quick and dirty review, and today basically I'm reviewing the Orbweaver Chroma by Razer. This is a fantastic piece of equipment. I've been using this now for about, I'm going to say 5 years roughly. So probably many of you have seen it around and say, oh, I'm just going to stick my keyboard here, and you cramp your hands to do your gaming and stuff. Look, if you're into first-person shooter, this is designed for typing, okay? There's all these superfluous keys you don't need, and you're cramping your hand to work like that, and it starts to get aching, and you wonder why you have carpal tunnel syndrome, okay? Well, first of all, the Orbweaver here is ergonomically designed to rest your palm comfortably. On the keyboard, you basically use your three fingers for left, right, and forward, and then your thumb maybe on the space bar for reverse. That's what I used to do to make it easier on me. It's not natural. It's just the way everything sits is ridiculous. So right down here, where you have the thumb controller, all right, you can see that. That your thumb now does the work of basically like 4 different fingers. So you have another 4 up here to interact with these fantastic keys. The Chroma, as you can see, does this great lighting effect. It's nice, but the best part is that these all these mechanical switches are great. The only reason I replaced the old one is because my this key here, the number 8 for sprint, got worn out slightly and it started to short out. Now that it could be because it's garbage in there or something like this. I pounded the desk and somehow it stopped working. But you're looking at about 100 and let's say $45 American or 165 Canadian for the Orbweaver. Well worth it. Well worth it. I programmed it so my weapons are up here. I got sprint. I have crouch, jump. Down here, like my superfluous things, like different weapons and maps and whatnot. Press to talk there. Makes things easier. This little paddle here. I'll see if it's bright enough. This little paddle down there is I use that for reload, and this is like an emergency crouch thing, or hit the deck, right? So here's the software itself. It's very simple. It's different than the rest of the Synapse packages that are out there right now. It's its own little separate thing because I think this is based on the old software, but it's fine. You map all your keys through this application. You'll figure it out. It takes a couple of times to really nail her down, but once you got it going, you can do so. What you do is change the keys on here to what you want, as opposed to your game where you're changing the key bindings in there. Forget that. Just do it through this. It's probably easier and leave it permanent. Keyboards are great. This is a great keyboard, but it's meant for typing. It's not meant for gaming. This is fantastic. It'll take you, let's say, about a day to get used to, but I instantly noticed with Battlefield 4 when I originally got this, basically my kills doubled, but also I was able to play long times, like 12, 14 hours, and my hand wasn't like it was on fire. The back of my hand, it used to feel like all the tendons were flaring up, and they were. It was, it wasn't natural. And then the next day, when I go to work, my left hand is still aching. And then when I go to play again, it just flares up again. So now that doesn't happen. I can't play without this. Anybody that owns one will love it. Anybody that hates it probably has only used it once. There was one on Kijiji here for $100 Canadian, brand new. Pretty much the guy said I just used it once. I'm like, well, either didn't program it right or he didn't give it a chance. That's his loss. But I highly recommend this. If you're locked in with this whole COVID deal, get this. You saw my review on this mouse. I still love it. Oddly enough, with the slick finish, things like powder from chips and stuff like that, your Doritos will stick to this mouse and it gets kind of covered in filth, so you got to wipe it down once in a while. But I've had no problems with it. The software is a little bit slow, as I told you before. When you get it started up, you have to wait. You think it's not working. You try clicking on it 5 times, like pop up, pop up. You'll see. Either way, it works. Fantastic light mouse, and it's good for about medium-sized hands, I would say. I have large hands, but medium-sized fingers. No jokes there. But it's great overall, and it's so light. But either way, the Chroma thing, great. I highly recommend it. If you play a lot of games, this is fantastic. Got all the buttons right there. I know there's a new one with a scroll wheel. I don't see any value in that personally. But also this palm area is not as good. Has optical keys, which maybe make a difference, but honestly, I don't know. I highly recommend this. This is the original. They haven't changed it because it's a killer design. And that's your quick and dirty review